Last time on Robot Wars, the chrome-plated terrier, formerly known as King Buxton, dispatched all opposition for a place in the series semi-finals. But who else will earn the right to fight Cassius and the reigning champion, Roadblock?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very own military dictator, Craig Charles.
Medieval Japanese warriors, known as the samurai, lived by a simple code of honor. The Bushido, or way of the warrior, encouraged one-on-one combat where mental preparation and fighting with honor were just as important as the fight itself. Unfortunately, mental preparation and fighting with honor make for very poor television. That's why we at Robot Wars encourage the code of get in there and bash each other any which way you can. And it's only contestants who honour this code will be finding themselves in our series semi-finals. So let's nip on over and meet our wheeled warriors.
First, from Oldham, Talos.
With 2 spikes to rake as it spins on a 1-metre circle in 4-wheel drive, though can turn sheerer than that in 2-wheel configuration. Wheelchair motors with a mechanical brake costing £30 out of the total 500. It took 3 months to build.
From Norwich, Ivanhoe.
From the world of medieval jousting comes this motorised knight's helmet, complete with visor, shield, sharpened axe, which chops at 1 blow a second, and lance. Designed by Dad Stuart Whiteman and son Craig, it took 4 months to build, cost £200. Driven by wheelchair motors, it can right itself when flipped over.
From Southampton, Brute.
A real brute or a pussycat, we await the impact of the weapon called an unch, named after the nickname for a schoolyard brunch. It's a long spring-loaded rod which flies out from the welded angle iron chassis. It's 24-volt battery-powered, running on 3 wheelchair motors.
From Halifax, Penetrator.
Captain Andrew Kettle used to design anti-tank missile guidance systems for the Ministry of Defence. On the attack, Penetrator carries twin spikes in the front and another at the rear with an extending cutting disc under that forward steel-plated box. The 4 motors come from a child's go-kart.
From Southampton, Killdozer.
At 1.5 metres, this is the longest bot in the field. Its hydraulic front lift can, in theory, hoist a ton. A rear blade protects the 4 rear wheels. Its front blade also carries 1.5-inch spikes, powered by 2 24-volt wheelchair motors, protected by an aluminium shell and steel chassis.
From London, GBH.
Grievous bot harm? That's the intention of this team, which fought in the first wars with Scrapper. 4 7-inch diameter circular saw blades and a front lifting ramp which can throw 12 stone make this devil-eyed creature a real menace. This could be the main danger here, Craig.
Andy Warhol said that we'd all have 15 minutes of fame. One robot is going to have that cruelly cut short in our first round.
This is the gauntlet. It's been described as an obstacle course, but wipe out any memory you ever had of school sports day on a sunny afternoon. It's still a race to the end, but this is Robot Wars, so we have angle grinders, a flame pit, explosive barrels, and the might of all of our house robots awaiting our 6 gallant metallic athletes.
Roboteers, stand by.
Talos with Ian Wilkinson and Mike Luke.
Driven by 2 wheelchair motors. It's belt driven. We can have high torque, low speed, or we can have low speed, high torque. And we're running off 24 volts DC, and we can change between 2 or 4-wheel drive.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's tally-ho, Talos. And a slow turn immediately into the explosive drums and pin. And in comes Matilda. With 1 shove from those front prongs. Talos getting away. Oh, tusk Matilda. You've let Talos get away, but only into the barrels. Now what can Mike Luke do to steer away? In comes Dead Metal. And Shunt 2. And steady progress made by Talos. Still the barrel in the way. Not exactly a barrel of laughs as Dead Metal comes in. And Dead Metal's gone! Brilliant! I'm not too sure what role Talos played, but they love it. Let's have a look. It was a little shove from Talos, and only the pincers remain. That's splendid stuff. And the house robots don't like it. Shunt and Matilda in there as well. Oh dear. It's a chilly time for Talos. Ice and a slice. What it needs is a bit of spin and tonic to get away. It's not going to get away. The house robot's going to make sure it's stuck at the bar.
Come up to the podium. Well, Shunt and Matilda did not like you putting their mate down the pit, did they?
That's all, no.
I mean, I think Matilda's living proof that robots get PMT. Post-mechanical tension. They cut you up pretty badly, didn't they?
Yeah.
We've got a few repairs to do there. Yeah, but we'll be back.
You'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Talos team. Well done, lads.
There's the benchmark so far, 6.5 metres from Talos.
Roboteers, stand by.
Ivanhoe with Stuart Whiteman and son Craig.
It's made with a plastic shell, and if it gets tipped over, it rewrites itself because of the shape of it.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
The chassis, though, 5 inches of plywood, as you've just seen. Could that be vulnerable to flame? Well, certainly a lot of power, driven by those 8500 series batteries off a wheelchair to get beyond the cement blocks. But have the batteries blown? Matilda thinks so. It seems to be immobilised at the moment. Matilda gives it a little shunt. It's off the ramp. It's stuck in there. There's a problem here for Ivanhoe. It needs to get running and quickly. It's okay. The batteries are okay. Driven on, but impaled on that front spike. Done itself some damage there. Away once again. Persistence from Ivanhoe. In comes Shunt. And also the sergeant in there. Still Ivanhoe is doing. It looks like some great metallic grey slug. And it slugged it to him. They're through Ivanhoe.
Cease.
Great power early on through those cement blocks. Got stuck there, but eventually through. A complete run from Ivanhoe. Completes the course ahead of Talos.
Roboteers, stand by.
Brute driver Ben Simons is just 11.
Its main weapon is a spike that is spring-powered, and we call it an UNT. And here are the batteries and the 2 motors for the steering.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Based on an ancient wheelchair once used by the British Legion. Brute shoves through the concrete ballast blocks. Needs a couple of runs at it. That allows, of course, Matilda time to come in. Those wheels are plywood. Oh, and Matilda smells wood and goes in. And there's the immediate danger of having wooden wheels. A tired challenge from Brute. Matilda won't retire on this, that's for certain. And Brute's stuck. The teeth can't cut into metal. Those wheels look very flimsy. Brute's going nowhere here. Oh, poor Ben. He loves going to Alton Towers. This a roller coaster ride that's gone wrong. It's bye-bye, Master Simons and his ply.
What happened there, then?
Oh, well, those bricks are really hard, because when you break through them, they actually get stuck.
You didn't seem to have the power to break down the wall, really, did you?
Yeah, no, well, it really got stuck. I was hoping I could swing it to the side so I could break down the wall, sir.
Matilda gave your wheels a bit of a bashing, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. No crying, no crying. All right. We don't know if you've done enough to get through to the next round, but we hope so.
Ben, Sister Katie and Dad Mark.
Well done, the Brute team.
This is how far you've gone. 3 metres. Will that be enough for Brute?
Is that nerves?
Yes.
How did you feel when you were up there then?
Oh, I felt really nervous. I was like, I need to cool down badly.
Roboteers, stand by.
Next up, Penetrator with our missile man, Andrew Kettle.
We've got 4 motors running each wheel, and they're powered by 6 volt batteries inside. We've got a single spike at the back, 2 single spikes at the front, and they're going to be used for pinning an opponent while we tap them with our circular saw.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
I love the added touch here of that yellow flashing strobe. There's a little tentative probe straight away. Against the cement blocks, dodging the spikes too, timing the run well. The second push from penetrator. Only those 2 blocks in the way. Steady if slow progress. Can get up to 6 miles an hour. 36 volts of battery power altogether. Ooh, and the big heave-ho. But in comes Shunt. That was an almighty block. They may have done enough already. I think now it's a question of damage limitation. And with Shunt around, oh, and dead metal as well. That's always a problem. There's the dead circular saw of dead metal. And so far, the steel plate construction holding up well. But dead metal forcing penetrator back. Have they done enough? That's the big question for Andrew Kettle and Stephen Lister. There's the original push on the wall. They got down the course and then dead metal forced them back. But 5.2 metres, they're OK. 11-year-old Ben and Brute aren't so far, though.
Roboteers, stand by.
Killdozer, Paul Hart, Steve Scotcher, Howard Andrews.
It's powered by 2 24-volt electric wheelchair motors, 24-volt batteries for these speed controllers. It has a blade at the front, it's powered by hydraulics. Another blade at the back, also powered by hydraulics. And that can lift in excess of 12 stone.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Well, we'll certainly need those hydraulics to lift the wall out of place. And there it goes. Very low ground clearance, only 10 millimetres. It won't be flipped, but it could have problems with the ramp. And those blocks, they've fallen unfortunately here for Killdozer. They're in the way still. And if it can lift a ton, let's see it lift a ton. Paul Hart, Steve Scotcher, who's got a very short fuse apparently, and Howard Andrews in the team. Here's Matilda coming in. You know she's got a short fuse and long tusks. That low ground clearance has caused it problems. Killdozy, dozy, dozy, sleepy show. And in comes Matilda.
Cease.
Pain on the face of the Killdozer team. They're worried that they might not have done enough. We'll wait and see, but there's the original thrust through the wall, which was steady, and that's the problem. You see low ground clearance and pale. They have done enough! 5.8 metres, Killdozer are through. Brute looked very, very unsteady.
Roboteers, stand by.
GBH, Mike Rickard, Mike Smith, Charles Lavery, they were here in the first wars. And it does take on the maze. Sharp turn required. It's into the sheep's pen, and this could be lambs to the slaughter, because Bash and Shunt are closing in, and it could be roast lamb at that, if the torch comes out, and it does! Lamb kebab!
Inside, we have all the control electronics mounted in a box at the back. We have pneumatic air cylinders and pistons for driving the ram up. It's basically the last war's scrappers chassis with a lot of modifications to it. Better gearboxes, better drive motors, and altogether a better robot.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Better than Scrapper, Mike. Couldn't be worse. But taking on the brick wall again. Just like so many of the robots in this field. Same route, up over the ramp. Slow and steady progress. 2 12-volt, 15-amp batteries driving it on. But now you see the house robots awake. Dead Metal and Shunt in there. Can he be enjoying this? They took a block with them. They're trying to take the ramp with them now. And now in comes the pressure and the punishment. GBH, grisly, brutish hurt from the house robots. In comes Matilda now. That fiberglass body has taken some punishment, hasn't it? Push, 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 they're saying. Almost to the line. Dead Metal almost forced back over the line. Well, have they crossed the line? Let's wait and see.
Well, you made the end zone, lads. You made the end zone.
Look at our beautiful paintwork.
You took a bit of a bashing, though, didn't you?
It did. I think it handled it very well.
That circular saw went through your shovel like it was tin foil.
I think it was tinfoil.
Well, do you think you've got a lot of repairs for the next round? Do you think you'll get them done in time?
Yes, we can handle it. I think it's going to go very well.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.
The shovel may have gone, but they did the spade work, and they're through. They've completed the course. But Brute, oh no, they've gone.
This thing's meant to be able to pull a truck, isn't it?
Well, there was two of them, wasn't there, trying to push it and pull it, and, well, I think it done pretty well. It's repairable.
But the really sad truth about Robot Wars and reality in the Robot Wars life is that the Brute team, Little Ben's team, have cleared off home already.
One robot is history, another's future is equally grim in the trials. Now, you might think tug-of-war's all about weight, but it isn't. I mean, look at Pavarotti. He's heavy, and he can't pull. No, you need traction to get a piece of the action. You need grip if you don't want to slip. You need power to be the robot of the hour. You need... Well, that's what we're here to find out. Each of our surviving robots will be chained to Matilda. Whoever has the least pulling power will be dragged out the competition. Remember, if you can't take the strain, you've got nothing to gain. Let the trials begin.
For the tug-of-war, you're going to need lots of traction and lots of power. Have you got those?
Yeah, well, we're right in the maximum weight limit, and we've got rubber tyres, and we let quite a lot of air out the tyres, so we get maximum rubber on the deck. So we hope we'll do well.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Well, Stuart's a technician on gas production and compression in the North Sea, so he's used to balancing air. Squeak of the tyres as Ivanhoe bites in. The aim to last 30 seconds. Matilda tugs and pulls ever so slowly, ever so surely. Ivanhoe, good night, the bold knight. That's a steady score, though. 22.35 seconds for Ivanhoe.
Roboteers, stand by.
And the GBH boys tell us they've got a secret weapon.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So let's see what it is. Well, they're holding firm. There it is, look! The spikes underneath GBH. Holding in, digging in against Matilda. Using her weight now. Craig told us that Pavarotti's heavy but can't pull. Well, Matilda can't sing. She can pull. She pulled GBH in the bot disco last night. And again tonight. Into the smoking furnace. But 20.03 seconds, that's not bad.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Penetrator. So nearly in, and again teetering. On the brink, and surely in. Well, they didn't last a long time, Andrew Kettle and Stephen Lister. 9.75 seconds. Encouragement for Talos, that.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Talos, the wheelchair motors, the 24-volt battery system. Can run on 4-wheel drive. Needs it now. Already done enough, they're through. Fan of Matilda. Backing the house robot. Our grisly beast with the flashing demonic eyes. And in goes Talos. Creditable, though. She loved it. She loves Matilda. Strange girl. Talos in. But through to fight another day with 21.47 seconds.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Bulldozer needs 10 seconds. Now look at that. The front shovel, hydraulically powered, biting down to give torque. And Matilda's not going to do anything here. This is good stuff from Killdozer. They love it. Just steady, you see. There's the fan club. Oh, dear. Matilda's not going to win the day here. Well done, Killdozer. Yes, they loved that, didn't they? Oh. Ah, you can't do that.
Well, you certainly smashed that one, didn't you?
Not half, mate.
That was gauntlet, wasn't it? That was better than gauntlet, wasn't it? That was better than gauntlet. I thought you were going to actually get her into the pit at one stage.
Unfortunately, we can't because the rear wheel's off the ground because of the slope. We'd have had her in, but the rear wheels are just off the ground.
Ah, well, you're through to the arena. How do you feel about that?
Brilliant.
Yes! Killdozer, round of applause!
Fickle fans, fortune favouring the brave folk. Killdozer through, they survived. Penetrator, they've gone out.
It looked really cute. It looked like a stubborn little animal that wasn't going to go anywhere.
It's female.
What we sadly are going to miss is the Penetrator team when you go back to Halifax.
Yeah, we're not going back till tomorrow now, though.
Oh, really? Robot Wars is so much fun that you just have to linger.
It's down to the top dogs of war. The puppies have been forcibly weaned off to Animal Hospital, and we're left with the robotic Rottweilers. Here, the barking stops and the biting begins. It's the arena. Normal rules apply. Immobilise or obliterate your opponent. If there's no clear winner, a decision will be made by our panel of judges. They'll be looking at style, control, aggression, and damage. Let the fighting begin.
So the semis are next for you. Do you know who you're fighting there? That's a big question.
No, not yet.
Do you mind who you're fighting?
We don't particularly want to fight any wedges because they can get underneath you, but we don't mind any others.
Well, the draw pits Ivanhoe against Killdozer in the first semi-final.
Well, the draw is now out, and I can tell you that you're up against not a wedge, but something almost as bad, which is Killdozer.
All right. Our buddies on the next bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, OK. Oh, we'll see how we get on then.
So how do you feel about that, Craig?
Well, just have to stay clear of the lifting device at front and use our axe as much as possible.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
That axe ground down to a menacing point, and you wouldn't mess with Craig. He's a black belt in Taekwondo at 13 years of age. Good speed by Ivanhoe early on, good style there. Now the aggression. Ooh, that's a mistake, though. They've gone on to that front, raising ramp. They didn't want to do that. Here's a problem for Killdozer, though, and he knows it. They couldn't do any more damage. They had to release Ivanhoe. Hopefully, to drive Ivanhoe into the PPZ, the perimeter patrol zone. Then there'll be food for the house robots. Both of them very dangerously close to that PPZ and now in. And on the spikes, here comes Shunt and also Dead Metal. To the right of your screen, there's Shunt at the top. Dead Metal with a circular saw. There's the Dead Cam on the front. Hey, this is the meat and gristle of Robot Wars. Plenty of damage being inflicted. There's Sir Kill-A-Lot! Hoisting aloft Killdozer! They spent 4 months building their baby and they can laugh. They're mad. Burn, they're saying. Burn, baby, burn. Dozer Inferno. And they just love it. What's wrong with the men? That's the end of Killdozer. I love the smell of paint in the morning, says Kill-A-Lot. Down, down, finish him off. The shrieks shrill. And the end is final. Killdozer, dead and buried.
Killdozer, come on to the podium. Ivanhoe, come on to the podium. Well.
Barbecue time, mate. Barbecue.
Barbecue, Killdozer, and then into the pit.
Yeah.
You look like you could have had it for a while. I mean, you lifted him up, but you just
push him.
Just couldn't
Too
push
much
him.
weight on the front, so. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed Robot Wars?
We have, yeah. Back next year.
See you in the next war. Ivanhoe! Yes! One more fight, you through to the next round, eh?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Did quite well in this one. We just tried to stay clear of the front because it lifts, and then we luckily got them squashed in the corner.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Ivanhoe! Well done, lads.
Tip-top tactics from Craig, pushing them in the side zone.
Yeah, just pushed them all the time, steering out the way and keeping clear of the front as much as we could.
Well, fast thinking, it paid off. Well done.
The second semi-final, Talos against GBH.
Okay, so what's going to be your tactic against them?
Well, we're just doing the modifications for that. We're just about to put a big spike on the front.
Well, we bent a ram in the last round, and it's sort of working, but it's not working quite right. And we've got some glitches. We've just taken it through to the test area, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Key features here, GBH is more powerful, and I think Talos has too much space underneath the body there, and is vulnerable to be flipped by that front ramp. If the ramp is working, it is! Well, that's been a problem for the GBH team throughout Robot Wars in this heat. And Talos, vulnerable and flipped and over and out.
Well, no judge decision needed there. The winner is quite clearly GBH. On the platform.
How do you feel about that then, young Talos?
We were overpowered, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't have enough weapons.
Have you enjoyed it on Robot Wars?
Yeah, it was excellent, yeah.
You come back for the next war, will you?
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully with a bigger, better, stronger robot.
Yeah.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
We've been waiting to use that ram all the time, and it's worked as we wanted it to work.
It worked really well. It flipped it right over on its back.
And we didn't think we was going to get it to work, but with some help from other guys in there, we got it working, and it was really good to see it flip something.
Ladies and gentlemen, GBH. Give them a round of applause. Well done, lads.
I didn't think it'd be strong enough to flip us now, but...
Yeah, because we were having trouble with the lifting arm, so we thought there's not much chance of them lifting us, but obviously we were wrong.
You just held on to it for long enough.
We did, yeah. I mean, it done what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to flip things all the time, and it just worked perfectly. But it died after that, but we don't know why. We've got a feeling it was probably the thermal trip that cut out. We're not sure.
Ah, the old thermal trip routine. What on earth is that, boys?
Lift it at the front so it runs on the back faster.
There's a current trip. If we start to overload the batteries, it trips off. So nothing fries in the robot. And it's like a safety circuit.
If that's all the problem it's got, we're back in action for the next round.
And they are the final against Ivanhoe.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
It'll all come down to weaponry here. Not much between the two bots in terms of weight or power. A little bit of jousting, medieval dancing by Ivanhoe early on. He actually has to come into play! But the ram has again! GBH! Grand, brave, honourable winner, surely! Ivanhoe can't come back from that! GBH spins! A victory dance!
And the winners are GBH! Come on to the platform! Come on to the platform! Well, and you know, you didn't need any help from the house robots.
No, it was some beautiful driving from Mike there. Absolutely wonderful.
That's got to be the ultimate result, isn't it? All them weeks of hard work, it's paid off, yeah.
Well, you've won the heat. You're through to the series semi-final. How'd you feel?
Great.
Brilliant! Yeah! Give him a round of applause! Freddy Krueger may have his flaws, but even he's a fan of Robot Wars. Good night.
Two more heats to go and two semi-finalists to find. It's clobbering time as 6 more robots follow in the trademarks of GBH, King Buxton, Cassius and Roadblock. Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who oils Crichton's bearings, Craig Charles.
I know it's hard to imagine, but some people just aren't going to like Robot Wars. People who hanker after Ford Mondeos with fake leather interiors. People who wear cardigans. People who use electric blankets in June. For some people, the thought of robots fighting it out in our spectacular high-tech arena has no appeal at all. That's right. I'm talking about you, madam. So why not take that steaming hot cup of cocoa, put on your tartan slippers, and dust off your favourite Baldoonican album, while those of us with a pulse get down to some serious robotic carnage. Let's meet tonight's contenders.
First, from Eastbourne, Enzyme.
Will the 14-year-old boys triumph over their elders with this 24-volt powered wheelchair motor-driven machine? Its front forklift can raise 16 stone, originally coming from the elevating backrest from the same wheelchair as did the wheels. It took only £100 to build, took 7 months to construct.
From Elstead in Surrey, Phoenix.
With a top speed of 15 mph, this by far the fastest in the field. Will Phoenix rise from the ashes of fiery battle with victory? A front ram, a 9-inch hardened steel tungsten tip spike at the back, twin 6-inch triangular blades also. It looks dangerous and at £5,000 expensively assembled.
From Borden in Hampshire, Plunderbird 2.
The team are back with an extensively modified version of the original Plunderbird from the first wars. The raising blade on the front can plough through opponents. The steel pneumatic ram can puncture and wound. The purpose tank tracks will give great traction, and the 17.5-amp battery is plenty of pull. This machine can haul a Range Rover.
From Langport in Somerset, the Mule.
This be a stubborn bot with a real kick from its 3 front compressed gas-powered legs. The forklift can lift 260 pounds. Roger Plant wants to get in underneath the house robot. No surprise, he used to be a submarine pilot. The motors come from lawnmowers, so too the rubber-tied wheels.
From Kilgetty in Pembrokeshire, Demon.
Captain Dave Clutterbuck loves 10-pin bowling and truck racing. Will this demonic machine drive through its rivals and skiffle them with its 10mm thick spikes? It has a 0 turning circle powered by 2 12-volt batteries. The shell's hardened aluminium, wedge-shaped and compact.
From Preston, Megahertz.
How much megabytes from this PC-shaped bot? The keyboard goes up and down, but don't typecast this as a brain-drain boffin without some biff. Its rear power hacksaw and chisel can shred and spike. When threatened, it can also wedge itself into the floor. Forget ROMs, Craig. This one can ram.
Dedication, 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 that's all you need. Well, I used to say that, but one of our robots is not going to break any records in our first round.
This is the gauntlet. The normal rules apply. This is the start zone. They have to get to the end zone. But there are 3 courses to choose from, each one littered with instruments of destruction that could signal death on Robot Wars. There's the medieval pendulum, the flame pit, the sphere, the sentinel, and of course, lots of angle grinders.
Roboteers, stand by.
Demon, Dave Clutterbuck, Joanne Russell, Nick Adams.
The defence weapons are mainly these spikes, which fit on the rear.
Three, 2, 1, activate.
Spikes at the rear, but Demon will face a frontal onslaught from the big leaden ball. Hauling endlessly close. Demon waited the moment, though, to move easily away. Only 2 miles an hour at top speed. It's slow. Look at Matilda here, making sure Demon doesn't break to the right. In other words, forcing Demon onto the Sentinel and towards that pit. Very careful driving here by Dave Clutterbuck. He used to be an electrician in the Navy. Slowly pushing Matilda back in this little armada of house robots. Oh, perilously close there to the precipice. A lick of flame in the back. Now Sir Kill-A-Lot in. Will it be a sideways edge towards the pit of doom? Demon's done ever so well here. Well, that's a superb drive by Dave Clutterbuck.
Come to the platform. Dave Clutterbuck, John Russell and Ian Sutcliffe.
He's still pushing us about the rack.
He's a bit miffed, actually.
He almost had us in the pit, but we managed to back out.
Well, your Demon on the front's got a few facial injuries, but I suppose that'll easily paint up again, won't it?
No, they're war scars now. We needed some of them.
Give them a round of applause.
Terrific run by the Demon team, and their supporters club will appreciate the fact they completed the course and they're through.
Roboteers, stand by.
Enzyme, Captain Murray Ballard.
This was originally a wheelchair, which was in our friend's garden, and we've converted it into a robot. It's got the original motors, and it had air tyres before, but we've actually changed that over, so they're solid now.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Enzyme is a faster bot than Demon at 6 miles an hour. Again, taking on the Sentinel. Oh, my goodness me! What was that? The Sentinel dropped in the path of Enzyme. Good quick burst, but here comes Matilda. And they're almost in the pit, and Matilda senses it, and there's the sparks of celebration from Matilda. And enough's enough for Enzyme.
The Enzyme team, come onto the platform. Murray Ballard, John Ballard, Andrew Wilkins, Angus Duncan. What happened then?
We just couldn't take it. You just like we just couldn't see a damn thing. All we saw was sparks, and we just started to panic. We're like, ah!
Mind your language, young man.
Sorry.
Well, I think you've done enough to get through to the next round, haven't you?
Hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. The Enzyme team.
And they should have done enough at 10.5 metres to go through. Phoenix next up.
Roboteers, stand by.
And here she is with David Croft and JP Abgrove.
These are the first things we purchased. They're industrial motors. They're 70 amp, 800 watt motors, which equate to about 1 horsepower. And they have 7-to-1 worm gearboxes driving these wheels.
Have blades here for cutting and bashing. And in the back, we've got a huge point, which we can spin this thing around on its axis really quick and go after anything we want to.
3, 2, 1, activate.
A quick and clever robot, it would seem. Almost sniffing out which route to take. Taking on the ramp and the ball and the exploding canisters, but more importantly, Killalot, quite wisely veering away. Now it can spin quickly, they say, but it's caught on the ramp, and the ball has come into play as well. Phoenix has gone behind the ball. How can he see his robot now? Has to dash back. Oh, what on earth is he doing now? Which way is he going? Oh, he's turning the spike. That's what he was doing to try and ram Killalot. Is that wise? Oh, no! That's horrendous from Killalot. Crunch. That's the end of that wheel. Phoenix is still rising and surviving.
The Phoenix team, come to the platform. Well, lads, you decided to take on Sir Killalot.
We did. We thought we'd go for it, but the problem was we couldn't see our robot for the ball.
I think you've got a problem with one of your wheels. I think his robotic arm just cut it in half.
Oh, that's right. We got spares.
The Phoenix team.
No arm done. You sure? 8.9 metres for Phoenix.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Mule with Roger Plant.
We're on fibre optic links between the electronics and motor controllers. It all runs from a 12-volt battery, does a lot of damage. Compressed air bottle inside, which powers the legs and the forklift. It's all going very successfully so far.
3, 2, 1, activate.
But he's spent 4 months building the Mule. There is actually an award in the series for the best engineered robot. And this could be a leading contender. The dummy throws Matilda the wrong way. There go the tusks. But at 80 kilograms, the Mule is too heavy to flip, it would seem. Is it mobile enough to get beyond the spike and then dart beyond the Sentinel? Controlling those kicking legs, goes beyond the Sentinel. Matilda goes the wrong way. Splendid run by the Mule. A mule, but a mule with pace.
It looked like Matilda was scared of you there, didn't it?
I should think so too. I've kicked the what's-it out of Matilda.
The kick the what's-it, will you?
Yeah.
Mind your language too, sir. Those legs, those kicky legs.
Yeah.
How powerful are they then?
Well, they can chuck a Land Rover wheel about 20 feet.
Wow, no wonder Matilda got out of the way then, eh?
And the forklift will turn her over, no problem.
You're through to the next round?
Yes.
We'll see you there.
The Mule completing the course and going through, of course. But that means that Phoenix with 8.9 metres could be in trouble.
Driving was a bit hairy. It's a bit sensitive, you know. He's had too much hay this morning. He's a bit lively.
Roboteers, stand by.
Megahertz with Dave and Tony Lund and Gordon Keeling.
Powered by two 12-volt motors, so at times we can actually go into 24 volts to give it the extra speed and extra power. It's controlled digitally by power relays, switching several different relays to give different movements. The receiver is actually fitted into the monitor itself.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Tony Lunt's greatest ambition in life was to meet Philippa Forrester. Now, how ambitious is Megahertz? Lovely to look at, isn't it? And going against the angle grinders. And the ramrick, and squeezed in, a suicidal route it would seem, from Megahertz. And it is hurting, but surviving. Now against the mace-shaped pendulum. And beyond that, slow and surely, not down there, surely, the flame pit. Megahertz and the teddy bear surviving. Obviously liking it hot. Kill a lot. To impede and impair the route through. And Matilda just for good measure. But slow and surely, and into the end zone.
Go to the platform. Dave Lund, Tony Lund and Gordon Keeling. Well. Through to the end zone.
Yes. We thought we were going to get barbecued and we got away with it.
Well, I thought the little mouse was going to be the first one to go, but he got away with it too.
Well, we put the mouse on so the robots would keep off it because we thought they were pet friendly.
Well, you're through to the end zone. Are you confident about the next round?
Yes, very.
Give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Let's hope their confidence is not misplaced.
Safely through, Phoenix in trouble, but look what's coming next. Plunderbird, and they've even made their own record.
Weapons stolen from mankind, they fight to stay alive. They run the deadly gauntlet, and the weak will not survive. As the battle rages, servos whine and circuits.
Robot ears, stand by.
On the grill, stuck against the pyramid. Blunderbird.
But that's not going to happen this time because we've got all new track system, a big bulldozer blade, and
Wonky aerial.
3, 2, 1, activate.
The boys from Borden in Hampshire, bordering on the insane. Blunderbird the second. Over the spike. There's the Sentinel. With that swinging and deadly arm. Steady progress by Plunderbird. You can see the raising blade on the front. They might have brought out a record.
Plunderbird, come to the platform.
They didn't record a great distance, though, did they?
What was all that about?
well, we've heard that the house robots were getting a bit hard and a bit cheesed off with people going down that lane, so we just had to go for a bit of violence, really, and unfortunately, I drove in the pit before we could actually get them.
You just drove straight into the pit. It was like you were scared of the robot.
We're not scared of the robots. We're going to trash the house robots.
Oh.
We're not scared of you. We just want some violence.
Okay.
Violence!
Plunderbird, all mouth and no trousers. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Ah, great stuff from Blunderbird in the pit. Terrible driving, but through. Will they get their revenge? Phoenix go out.
What a chicken run. It's quick now, wasn't it?
Why do you think they're chickens?
Because they dive in the pit straight away. They're the big tough men and they're chickened out.
Right, let's have it out with them. Here. They're all calling you chickens over there.
We're not chickens. We just wanted to get through to the next round, but most of all, we want to have a go at the house robots. Silence! How dare you! We're back and we're going to stay. More violence.
Right, just between you and me, did you dive in that pit to avoid the house robots?
Absolutely not.
Oh, look, you're packing. I just caught you in the middle of it. It's a shame you're out.
Next year, maybe.
Next time, well done.
One robot has abdicated. One will lose his throne in the trials. Now, you may think I'm the king of the castle and you're a dirty rascal is childish. And it is. But there's nothing childish about this particular version of King of the Castle. In this particular contest, the surviving robots will try and defend their castle against attack from the house robots. Whoever lasts the least amount of time will be deposed from the contest outright. Now, Dead Metal and Sergeant Bash will be storming the ramparts. Our contenders will be pouring boiling oil over their efforts. Will the kings keep their heads, or will the house robots cut them off and turn them into novelty ashtrays? Only time will tell. Let the trials begin.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Demon first up. Oh, and Dead Metal straight in there. and also the sergeant. The hardened aluminium frame taking some dreadful punishment but surviving. The aim to last 30 seconds here. The sergeant winding up perhaps to have a run from the deep. There's Dead Metal being eased forward by Sergeant Bash, actually. Oh, burning rubber. In comes the sergeant again, determined to take Demon out, and does so.
Demon, take the platform! Well, you went over the edge, but you took Sergeant Bash with you.
They got us round the front. That was where it went wrong. And wouldn't let go. And the two of them just got us over the edge. There's nothing we could do about it.
You lasted a fair amount of time, though. You might have done enough. You might have done enough to make it to the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, Demon!
I totally agree, Craig. I think that's a good time, 27.47 seconds. Next up, Enzyme.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
14-year-old boys against Dead Metal. Sergeant Bash. There's that forklift on the front. Could flip Dead Metal or Bash up. Can lift 16 stone. Holding position right at the centre there of the ring. He's the king of the castle. There are the dirty rascals. Sergeant Bash can't gain enough leverage. That's good traction. Well done, boys. That's tremendous stuff. Enzyme surviving the course thanks to those plastic tyres, really.
Roboteers, stand by.
Here comes the mule.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Roger Plant has spent 3,500 hours undersea in a mini-sub in the North Sea oil fields. He wants to stay afloat here. Look at the power of that compressed gas forklift. Against Dead Metal, more than holding its own. There are the compressed gas legs that can kick out. I think this is a sturdy robot that can go a long way in the wars. The sergeant can do nothing. The smoke flies, the wheels dig in, and the mule survives.
The mule! Come onto the platform! Well, you certainly gave them a run for the money, didn't you?
Yeah, getting used to this.
It's quite a powerful robot, that, isn't it? It was,
Yes.
pushing Dead Metal all the way back.
Yeah, he's giving him a hard time there.
Well, you've done enough to get through to the arena, haven't you?
Yeah.
Give him a round of applause!
The bearded boffin goes through. And in joint first place with Enzyme. Megahertz next up.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
71.8 kilos. Is this heavy enough to hold on against Sergeant Bash, which makes the first thrust? And Dead Metal there. Dead Metal capturing Megahertz in the pincers. Bashing it. That's not the way to go. Oh, no, that's suicide. That is suicide. You're going, you've gone.
Cease.
Just like the bus in the Italian job film, teetering, then going. The house robot's going with it. Megahertz, 22.2 seconds. Plunderbird could put them out.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And to the tune of their dreadful pop records, we'll hear more of that later. Out comes Plunderbird the second. Wedging in underneath Dead Metal. Are they as chicken as everyone's saying they are? Mike Onslow and his team steering away, doesn't want to get involved with Sergeant Bash or Dead Metal. Now does, though, and Dead Metal goes. Well, perhaps they're not all talk. And no trousers, and the sergeant goes. Well, they've lived up to their proud boast.
Well done. We've said we've come back, and now we've really come back.
How do you think you're going to handle the arena?
Cautiously.
Oh, not so confident now, then?
Lots of damage, always lots of damage.
We'll wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a round of applause. What a performance.
We've seen the wobbly aerial. We haven't seen too much damage. No, Dead Metal went off the ring, and so too the sergeant. Plunderbird, king of the castle. And Megahertz, they're out.
How are you feeling after that last scenario?
We're feeling vindicated. We,
Do you know what it means, though?
No, don't know what it means, but it sounds good and it sounds hard. So we'll be looking at the canteen menu tonight and I don't think chicken will be on it.
It's time for the arena and for our robots to fight it out to the death. They have to obliterate their opponent or at least immobilise him. If there's no clear winner, the judges will look at style, control, aggression and damage. Hey, let the fighting begin.
The first semi-final, the Mule against Demon.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
I love the Demon team. Ouch, it says on that hole in the Demon's hardened aluminium shell. Early pressure from the Mule, early aggression from the Mule. The Demon steers into trouble. The Mule nearly flicking it with the forklift. And again coming in on the attack. Steady driving and control, though, by the Demon. Dave Clutterbuck's team have driven well since the early stage of the gauntlet. But look at this. The Mule trying to push it into the PPZ. They're feeling horny, horny, horny. But it's the Demon surviving. Now edging the Mule into that PPZ. I think the Mule's actually steered itself in there in the end, which is trouble because the house robots come in for the duel with the Mule. The Demon is immobilised, I've been told. The Demon's in trouble too. The Mule's under attack from the house robots, but the Demon can't move. Killalot comes in to finish it off. The Mule surviving, the Demon in real trouble.
Well, we're going to have to go for a judge's decision. Before we get that decision, let's look at some of the highlights.
That the early aggression from the Mule. The Demon does well, though, to steer away from trouble, then pushes the Mule into the PPZ. You'll get points for that. The Mule survives, and that's where the Demon was immobilised.
Well, we have a unanimous decision from the judges. It might be controversial, I'm not sure, but the judges have gone for the Mule. Congratulations! Guys, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's fair. We weren't very aggressive. We had a bit of trouble with the drive, and in fact, it's stopped now. So
Yeah, I thought you were immobilised. I think that's where the judges went for in the end.
Mine stopped dead about the same time.
Yeah, but you were much more aggressive before that, weren't you?
If you say so, I was watching him, not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
And the Mule awaits the winners of the second semi-final, Plunderbird 2 against Enzyme.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Both teams have been great fun on Robot Wars. Plunderbird 2 underneath Enzyme. Can the lads hold on here? Murray Ballard's team. Got to say hello to Oliver Beckley, who's been involved in the team all the way through, but was unavailable to be here for this. The climax of all his work. And that work could go up in flames any moment if Plunderbird 2 and the Sergeant can edge Enzyme into the pit of fire. Dead metal coming in as well, the sparks fly. There's the camera on Killalot. Well, they're wedded in some dreadful dance of doom. The two semi-finalists. The main attack is on Enzyme, spinning away. Plunderbird 2 and Enzyme now to take on Killalot. Not for the first time. Plunderbird 2 thinks twice about it. Who's done enough? This goes to the judges.
We have a judge's decision, and the judges have decided unanimously for Plunderbird 2. Plunderbird 2, come on! Enzyme, come on to the podium! Well, it was a fairly even fight, wasn't it, young man?
Yeah, they just hammered us in the end. We just couldn't compete.
They seemed to have a bit more power than you at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they just kept on shunting us into the house robots and we didn't stand a chance.
Give them a round of applause! Well, we gave them a bashing.
We came in to give them a bashing, and basically you've got to be cruel to be kind. We're cruel, but we're not very kind. But to give them their due, they're a really plucky team, but we just had to do the job.
One more fight in the series semi-finals.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Plunderbird 2, give them a round of applause!
Now, is it going to kick?
Of course it's going to kick. You know,
How far is it going to kick, the Plunderbird team?
off the stage, into the pit, into oblivion.
Into orbit?
I'll think on that.
Will it be the kick of the mule or Plunderbirds are go in the final?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Magnificent engineering feat, the mule. Plunderbird 2 boys have been splendid entertainment. See the name of Enzyme crossed out on the side. They've already seen the Enzyme boys off. And immediate aggression on the mule. But Roger Plant spins that three-wheel drive away. Motorised from second-hand lawnmowers. In underneath goes Plunderbird 2. That forklift is no good for Roger. Went on top of Plunderbird 2, digging in. Out comes the leg to try and flick Plunderbird 2 away. He's doing all he can to survive. The grisly list of victims on the side of Plunderbird 2 into the PPZ. It means that Shunt can come in, the mule gets away. Now comes in for a ram of its own. Very close, this.
And the judges have gone for Plunderbird 2! Plunderbird 2, come onto the podium. Well, that was a tougher one than you thought, wasn't it?
It was a bit tougher, but we already knew the thing was quite a dangerous machine, so a little bit of strategy, as it were, but plenty of violence. We almost got him in the pit, but, well, we'll just have to do better next time.
You seem to have a lot more power than the mule, though, didn't you?
We've got about 2 tons of pulling power. We actually pulled a Range Rover with this thing. And just be afraid, there's a plunderstorm coming.
Well, hey, you've won your heat. You're through to the series semi-final. How do you think you're going to fare?
We're going to do our best to trash everything in our path, of course. Plenty of violence. We've got a bomb waiting to kill a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. We've got more presents than Santa Claus, and the beards are real on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Well, I kicked him quite a few times, I hope you saw that. You wanted me to.
I didn't see you kick him into the car park, though.
He's a bit heavier than the Land Rover wheel.
We just had to kick ass. We already knew this thing was a dangerous machine, so we just went all out and we did it.